Hey, guys. It is Sanjay and Rose here with Motivation Station. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I
How
am
are you?
so happy today. I'm so happy that my coffee actually is hot
Yeah,
once, but it's a beautiful show.
I made a cold beverage today because I was like, I need something, to spruce and wake me up accordingly.
I am. I changed my china. I love my Christmas china. I just love my Christmas china. So it's like has I don't know if you can see it has all
Yeah,
the Christmassy stuff, and it's just so cozy. I said, let me bring that in today.
I'm gonna have to, at this point, I'm gonna have to make sure when it comes to Christmas that I have a very Christmas mug, on our Christmas podcast.
Oh
Make
my
sure we show up with
goodness, it's
that.
like 25 degrees this morning. I'm like, cozy me up,
Yeah.
25.
The cold is finally coming in. The cold is finally coming in. Like I think it was even on Thanksgiving. It was pretty cold. And it was raining over here. I don't know about like your area, but it was raining hard in the morning. Like it was very ugly out. But then it got better during the day. But it was still cold.
It did rain a couple, it was gloomy a couple of days. Like, I didn't even want to get out. Imagine gloomy and cold. And
Yeah.
it's like, in the house gets cold as well. And I'm like, whoa. So you don't even want to get out. And
Yeah.
today, luckily, we have a little bit of sun, so I can have some sun with me. And
Yes.
I'm bringing
Yes.
that to you.
It is very radiant, and then it's coming out on you. It's coming out so well that apparently there's light on my face now. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
I actually got myself a
it's
little.
gonna.
I have a little desk lamp that I use for like during my streams, but it was hidden
Uh-huh.
behind my monitor. So I finally took it out, and it looks like it's putting good amount of light on my face. So now we can at least see my face and not just like the darkness. So
I
that's
love
always
that,
nice.
but you know what? It looks like a star on top of the
Yes. Well,
Christmas tree.
tis the season, right? That's exactly what's going on right now.
Whatever works, whatever works. And I'm glad that we're working with whatever works right now because I think it's definitely very interesting that show people that you can start just with a cup of coffee and the vision. You
Exactly. No.
know, it
I,
it it don't need to be fancy, professional, big because nobody starts as a champion.
yeah. Absolutely. No, I
Everybody
agree with you.
starts
You
with
start
putting
with.
that little bit of hour here and there and grow from there. I think we planted a beautiful seed
Mm,
and I see how beautiful it's growing. I wanna say how grateful I am for the people that join in. Like today, it's episode number 6, and I know people are gonna be joining later, watching us later on YouTube.
yeah.
And we appreciate you, and we're grateful that you guys passionate about this channel to grow as well, and you love this channel, and we love you back.
Yeah. No, absolutely. We appreciate those who um have been joining and have been watching,
Oh,
have been sharing too,
yeah.
which is fantastic. And to piggyback off what you said before, no, I agree. I mean, we start with what we have, with what whatever, how big or how small that may be. And I do want to say that I think one of the bigger things is like just having the right attitude, like just having that, like, hey, it could be a gloomy day out. Hey, it could be not your morning. You spill coffee on your shirt, but you keep your chin up and you just kind of fight on the day, and you know, beautiful things happen. And that brings us to what today's episode is. We were supposed to have a guest that we moved to next week. Um, and not to put too much detail on who the guest is per se, but they are going through some challenges right now. So I'm sure the audience and Rose and I will wish you, the best on your journey, and we look forward to seeing you next week. And but today's podcast is just gonna just be Rose and I, and today's episode is called "Let's Be Thankful," and because it's the season of Thanksgiving, and I figure today we just talk
I'm just
about stuff that
tearing.
Rose and I are just thankful for, not just like our podcast, but just like things that are happening in our life, or things that brought us to today's point and today's you know being of us.
Yeah, the coffee is so good and hot that it's making me like, ooh, tearing up and running. I'm like,
It's
what
an
is
emotional
happening?
coffee.
The
No, that's
coffee is
funny.
speaking to me. I don't know if you can see the whole situation going on here, but I definitely um, take a moment. For me, New Year and this holiday times brings back the memory from childhood. We always had a New Year tree. We call
Mm,
it New Year tree. We always decorated it, and it's just, and but the biggest thing from, I think it comes from the generational thing, that everybody have that famous china, and that
yeah,
famous china always has that famous dinner dinnerware, right? That's how
yeah,
you call
the
it,
China.
like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
chinaware that you can touch. There's
Until
always
like it's
like,
time.
this is for guests
Yeah.
only. I'm like, can we, 70 years later, right? Grandma, can we still use it? Like, no, right? So,
No, it's funny you say
and
that because we have a like a china case in our kitchen, right? Like we got this like it's probably like a good decade now, and the only thing that was in there for the longest time was just really fancy chinaware, like it's just really fancy plates and stuff like that. But yeah, even then, like it was so fancy for us that we never used it. We just had it on display. So even when it came to holidays, we never touched it. And I'm like, okay, this is cool, but can we use it or whatever? And then eventually one of the years we used it and we got like praise for it because people were like, oh, this is very nice. And my mom's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, this is great. So now we'll use it during the holidays, clean it up, and then put it back in the china, and then stuff like that. But no, I totally can relate. I can relate to that.
yes, and that's why I was like, you know what? I love China so much. I fell in love with China a while back, and I do have seasonal China. I'm not gonna lie. Collector. I have a few pieces, very nice pieces, like a blue cobalt pieces,
Mm,
and we're talking about being thankful today. So, just something that I do is I love doing that, and I said, you know what? I don't want to have that big China, that's gonna sit and you can't even touch anything. I want to
mm,
use it today. And I think a lot of people, it's a good mentality check. Like, stop saying that, oh, this dress is only for a certain occasion, or this suit is only for a wedding. No, make it occasion today. Use it today, wear it today. Do today. It's tomorrow. This one life.
mm,
And one of my favorite things that I always say, make every day different.
mm,
Make every day different. Make every day do things differently. Shift your mind. And I'm so grateful for that because I was learned how to shift my mind. Because where you are right now, maybe it's not the best place you want to be. Maybe it's not where you want to be in life. Maybe something's holding you. Maybe you are in an abusive relationship or anything like that.
mm.
It's, you have a choice to shift your mind to be able to change your present moment. And I'm so grateful that I've learned that through psychotherapy, through coaching. I'm a certified health coach, and through life. And it helps me to bring up my self esteem that I never had, level of confidence, and say that you can also shift and change your life. And I'm grateful for that. Like, this is the certain things that I'm grateful for. And I also want to thank every single server, even if it's a dishwasher person, right? Person that washing dishwasher,
Yeah.
or drying the clothes, or ironing the clothes for $2 an hour or whatever. I just want to be grateful for every person that serves us. Nurses, doctors, lawyers, putting so much time to be a professional, and I just love that they love what they do. I hope they love what they do, and I'm
Yeah, no,
grateful
I
for
agree.
it.
I hope the passion is there for the reason of their their service is that because there's people I know that have entered certain fields in their lives for and it could be for money. And listen, if that's your motivation, that's your motivation, right? But there's other people who want to actually they're there to help people. They're there because it's their passion to make someone feel better, make someone achieve their goals and dreams and stuff like that. But I'm with you on that. Like I agree that every day should. I always I tell people, challenge yourself every day. Do one thing like to challenge yourself every day. And even like myself, I think we talked about it in past podcasts. I'm still growing and learning and developing, and there was times where I wasn't motivated. Um, and like not just because of the podcast, but like the people who have reached out to me about the podcast, or just my overall attitude, even on our like Dear Starla episode, that like sometimes you just need someone to trigger that moment in you. You need someone to be like, I got into this, I'm doing this, and you're just sitting there like, I want to do this too. And then the more you hear this person talk about it so lively, so passionately, you're just like, yeah, yeah, I'm definitely gonna push myself to do it. I mean, I do want to say from episode one till now, I definitely feel like I've changed a lot of my old habits that were bad. Like I definitely feel a little bit more motivated. I definitely try to keep myself a little bit healthier. Trying to go back to the gym. Trying to get into my filming that I said I wanted to do. And, I think there's some realization in some of these things where like I know I can't do it all, right? So there's things I started doing that I did fall back on, but because I'm like, what, this isn't what I want to do. But I at least put my towel in the arena, like I put myself in, like, let me give it a shot. And some things don't work out and you're like, okay, no problem, then this isn't for me. And then you try the next thing, you know and I think without this podcast, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be stuck in the same vicious circle, thinking that this is the only one thing I can do to achieve the goals and dreams I want to do. But thankfully, I tried it, didn't work out. All right, I'll try something else, and move on, and such of that nature.
I love that. I love that for you. I feel like this is such a huge improvement, and I love that I can be a part of it.
Mm,
And also, I agree with you. We should always try something new, fail new, try again, fail till we succeed. Or just say, hey, listen, this is just not me. It's not mine. And find what you really love.
yeah.
Find your niche, right? And that's how you discover yourself. Maybe you never loved fishing, but have you ever fished?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, get out there. It's like every day is a gift from God. That's
Absolutely.
what I would say.
Hmm.
And if you don't believe in anything, every day is a gift. Just saying. And just having that gift and use it wisely. What are you doing? You know, mm, I believe that habits and the things that we do on a daily basis does give us results. So basically, whatever we did planted 5 years ago, and
Hmm.
that's what we're reaping right now. So if you
Yeah.
look back, if you're not happy where you are right now, look back what seeds you planted. So
Hmm.
maybe it's time to plant the new seeds
Hmm.
and maybe be more mindful what you're planting.
Hmm.
Because 5 years went by quickly. It was
Yeah.
just 2020 pandemic, and here we are 2025. It
We
was
enter.
just
Yeah.
2000s,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. It's
It's
crazy.
already quarter of the century is gone, and we're still stuck in the 20th century habit.
Mm, I
Update
agree.
yourself. The phone updates itself every 3, 6 months,
Mm,
and I'm recommending you to update yourself. That's why minding, shift minding, right? How you do one thing, you do everything.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
And daily discipline habits. Yes, it's tough, but can we do it gradually? Like when I started my latest psychotherapy, I had like 2 courses. They just moved me. I
Mm,
said every day I want to dress up, I want to get up, I want to take care of my health, I want to look good, and I want to see what my habits, what are my successful habits, where am I going, what are they bringing, are they beneficial, are they high vibrational,
yeah.
you know? And I'm thankful for having that awareness I'm thankful for my thoughts that some people don't even think about things like that.
Yeah.
We
No.
just think about our past and we stuck and we have that luggage, but let it go.
Yeah, no, I think that there are times, even, just speaking from experience too, that I just felt blocked. Like this is like every day it was doing the same thing, And of course, it wasn't terrible in a way, because it's like you at least have that consistency in life, and you're just like, I'm making money, I can pay my bills, I can afford to go out to eat or take my at the time my wife out, um,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But then I think after a while it just started hitting me that I'm just like this isn't it. Like this isn't life. Like this is not what I was put here to do. And I think that's when like habits started changing, and even my mindset started changing, which like I said, I did want to get into like the stuff that I was thankful for. But before we do all that, because before I forget, because I know we're gonna go knee deep, we are doing our giveaway. All right, I completely forgot, but we are doing our giveaway, and we're gonna give away on every episode from now till the end of December, and as a gift that we want to give away to our viewers and our subscribers, or whatever. But in our video below, I put in our description a link to a Google form. If you have time, if you want to participate in our giveaway, there's a Google form down there. Just got to put in your name and your email.
Hmm.
And what we're gonna try to do is, at the end of the week, before the next episode, we're gonna run a like kind of spin the wheel on our end and see who wins the giveaway, and then we'll announce it in next episode, and then we'll sort out how we'll get it shipped to you and whatnot. But we wanted to give everyone a fair chance, so anyone who's interested, please,
Your
you
little
know,
Baba Mila is here, just
see,
waiting for
there you go.
you.
Rose is already ready. Rose is already ready. But the link is at the bottom. So like I said, just click the Google form, put in your name, put in your email, and hopefully you'll win some nice goodies from us. And if you don't win, today or this week, there's always next week, and then the week after, and the week after. We still got time. Tis the season to give, right?
This is the giveaway. If you watch the last episode, I was giving the description. You can go back and rewatch the last
Yes.
episode of descriptions of the giveaway, what was in there, and how important that today. I have a very I'm very particular about giving gifts, and I like to be very thoroughly about it because just go get a gift card or go get whatever, just regular things. It's like you can buy yourself. But I think it's a little bit, I don't know. I always think through what the person need
Mm,
and also love doing things myself. It's been
mm.
a time when I was doing my own cards and then I started finding vintage cards from garage sales and stuff like that. So I always collected cards and it's just something that I do, like writing it from my own heart, writing it down, and then putting it nicely. And then I have a wax. I melt the wax and I stamp it. It says for you. Just put that nicely, packaging it up.
Are
It's
we
like,
gonna
put love to it, you know? What are you doing?
we're gonna have to
Like, people
make
are like, oh,
our
I don't care, it's simple. No, it's not about that. It's just you're, you were thinking about the person.
yeah, of course. Yep.
You were putting your energy, your love towards it. You know, I love people that they actually get you a card and they actually read through, and the card is actually saying what the card is about. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, this actually person was standing in front of the cards for about
Yeah.
20 minutes just to
Yeah.
find that card. And I appreciate that, you know. And this year I decided for a few people locally, I decided to make candles. It
Mm-hmm.
was my first experience of making my own candles. I went with a group of girls to do candles, so I did had a one-time experience. So I said, let me try to do it at home,
Yeah.
and it's a healthier version. Beeswax and soy wax are one of the best ones for burning candles because other ones. I'm a health coach. I can say that they clogs up your lymph system, so you don't want that. Put some a little bit of I put some fragrance oil. So it came out pretty nice. The little jars, you know.
Hmm. Nice. Okay.
So it's just something that I feel like giving something. Let's let's think about what are we giving.
I mean,
Because we give our energy, we give our time,
yeah,
and maybe sometimes you don't need to give. Reserve yourself.
yeah.
Use that energy for something that could be more productive.
No, I mean
So,
I appreciate that like your version of that is like it's more personable, you know? Like it's very like it's like you know, people give you know, it's still like the thought that counts the most, right? But like, you know, I appreciate the fact that you're just like, you know, let me make it a little bit more personal. I'm gonna you know, get my own little, you know, letter. I'm gonna write out my own little letter and then stamp it. Like who stamps with wax nowadays, you know? It's I was actually thinking when you said that, I was like, we gotta make our own motivation station, like little symbol thing, so we can stamp it and like you can do our giveaways in the future. But
that
you
would
know,
be
like
amazing.
no, that I mean that's great. That's pretty cool. Yeah, for a while we were like I because you know I had my daughter, and after that we were making like Christmas cards and or like you know little flyer type things. But we would always write a message on the back of it to each individual person and be like, you know, write our own little version of our thank yous and see you soon's kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I kind of wish like I love this time period because everyone, and when I say everyone, right, I mean most people, but like you know you go out, you can go shopping, you can go to like ShopRite, you can go wherever, but people are just generally in a better mood. And I'm like, you know, this is great that it's like this during the holidays, but you can be like this all the time. And I think that's
I
part of the attitude. That's part of
agree.
my attitude that changed because I'm like, you know what, I don't need to be this festive one thing, right? So I'm not gonna talk about
Yeah,
Christmas in like March, right? But you know,
I
you
want
can
to
still
still
be
carry that.
like a happy go, you know, going person. You know, still spreading those smiles and happiness. Um, you know, it doesn't have to be during just November, December, October, November, December. You know, just be all you know, be could be it all year round. And I think that's the part that surprises people when I'm still nice in like April. They're just like, why is this guy so happy? I'm like, why not, man? like we're alive. Come on, or you know, why not be happy?
I highly believe in energies, and we give and
Mm,
we take energies. So even yesterday, I've seen this little video. It's like a reel when the person's going, and each energy comes through, and he grabs something, he grabs something, he grabs something, and in the end, he's totally black.
mm,
The energy is so heavy that you consume so much
mm,
that take your time to clean that energy as well. So
yeah.
it's important to remember, as you said, just smile, whatever.
Mm,
That's energy.
yeah.
That's something that you give, and that something comes back to you too.
Yeah.
And learning to give that and guard yourself with and recognizing, and I think you can recognizing energies from other people,
Mm,
what they give. Sometimes you're just like, hey, I don't want to give anything right now
mm.
because
No.
I'm not in where I need to
Yeah.
be to give.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let me recharge my batteries,
Yeah, no,
so
I think for the longest time I've been like that empath that just like I always cared about other people before me, right? And it's like a double-edged sword, like you said, you know. Um, I would care more for them than myself, and I think it led to me being completely burnt out. And then after a while, I took a step back. I was like, I really need to focus on me. I really need to focus on rebuilding myself to be able to give back out, you know. And I think that kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about being thankful for, you know, especially like not just like from the beginning of like my life till now, but definitely this year. This year's probably been one of the more challenging years. You know, after I had my daughter, it just a lot was affecting me. I think I briefly maybe touched on it in previous episodes, but you know, like just being physically handicapped was challenging enough, and as much as I fought through that and kind of I want to say I ended up on top this year. You know, I went from a place where I had a job I loved and I got let go, and then I had to just take a job to make money. You know, and I was so down in the dumps that at the beginning of this year, it was in January that I crashed my car. You know, I fell asleep behind the wheel, and thankfully no one got hurt except for you know like myself and or when I say myself, I mean my ego more than anything. But you know, I hit a car. I was so down and out about it that I I actually wanted that car crash to be worse. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds very bad, but I was so down in the dumps that I didn't want to deal with anything anymore. And it's not necessarily just like sadness or depression per se, but it was just like I wanted to feel empty, just completely empty. And for the longest time before that, it was always more like, I never really cared about my own feelings. I always cared about other people's feelings. But I got so bad to the point that I didn't care what anybody else thought, and I didn't care what I thought. But I remember I got into the accident, and I woke up, and I was okay. Thankfully, I was okay. I think I bruised my wrist a little bit or whatever. But the people that were in the house of the car I crashed into, they came out. They're like, police came in and everything, and I was just sitting there, just kind of registering what just happened, and then just feeling extreme sadness, right? And the lady that was there, she she's like, get him a blanket. She was like the mother. She was a mother. She's like, get him a blanket, get him something warm to drink, get him water. So I sat in a little chair that they wrapped me in a blanket, and the first thing she said to me, she said that God said it wasn't your time to go yet. And like, she had no reason to say that. She had no reason to say anything, but she could just be like, hey, are you okay? Like, just be thankful you're okay, you have a family. But that's the first thing she said to me. And I started like tearing up, and I started breaking down. And even my mom, like my mom's been there through thick and thin for me. But even when I got in an accident and I was breaking down, like in the car, because for me, like, cars are a very big deal to me. So like, I was just upset that I crashed my car, and I knew it was totaled. Like, I knew it was gone, right? And my mom's like,
Hmm.
"Listen, at least you're alive." Like my mom was my balance there. Like, she wasn't gonna join in my sadness. She was just uplifting me, which was great. And I think after that, I kind of made this like a decision, like, okay, I need to be better about this. Like, I have a family and stuff like that. And it was like little things sprinkled along the way after that that kind of just like made me change my mindset. So I have a friend named Joe who I known from a previous job, right? I don't stay connected to a lot of my colleagues, but Joe grew on me, and me and Joe became really good friends. And um, sorry,
It's beautiful. You need one? I have one.
what,
It's
you're
been
gonna pass the
happening.
the tissue
It's
through the?
just
No,
I'm
no,
passing you
no,
a light right now.
no. So
I do.
Joe and I went out to dinner one day, and he comes up to me, and I have in my wallet, I have a picture of my family. I have a picture of my wife, my kid. And sometimes I need like funny, stupid things said to me to like really trigger me awake, right? And what he says to me, like, he's just like, "You are really trying to leave your life and miss out on this." And like, he pointed at like my family, and I was just like, "Come on, man, you can't," And then we kind of just like laughed about it, and I felt a bit better. But I realized that there's a lot of unpredictable things that happen in your life, but a lot of those challenges definitely happen from like from within, and then once I started like, okay, I got to be better about this, I started taking care of more of my health. I understood that my bad times were not forever times. I started to understand that this wasn't going to be the rest of my life, you know and over time things got better. I got a newer car that my wife agreed to get, and I think that's why my wife is my wife, because after the accident, like, I told my wife, I was like, what do I do, right? I was like, do I just get a normal car? Like, should I just become a family man now, like just get an SUV, have a family, just go to work, Monday through Friday, come home, do dinner sometimes, do family vacations accordingly and stuff like that. And I told her, I was like, what do I do? And I told her, I was like, I don't want to lose my ambition. So I told her, we have two choices, or I have two choices, right? Either I just get a normal car and just, you know, to me, when I say normal, I'm not saying it as a bad thing, but I was like, do I just give up on everything I was hoping and dreaming for? Or should I do this? So I told her, I was like, do I get this car, or do I get another sports car that I'm a fan of, that I know I would take care of, baby? I would baby the car and stuff like that, right? And you know what she says to me? She looks me dead in the eye and she goes, what do you think I'm going to say? She doesn't give me a, a response of choose this car or that car. She's like, what do you think I'm going to say?
Follow your passion.
And yeah, exactly. So then I got, my newer car, and my wife loves it. My daughter absolutely loves it. She'll point it out, and she'll be like, there's Appa's car. And she'll be like, she'll like talk to the car. Like if I hit the alarm button, it goes beep beep. So every time I'll be like, say bye to the car, she'll be like bye, little beep, But it's like the little things, and it kept me going. And like this car, like I baby, like I mean I do my best to take care of. And ironically, later on in the year, like actually just last month, I got into an accident again, right? And this time it was like I was on like on the turnpike, and I think me and another car were just trying to get to an exit, but we were both in each other's blind spot. So the accident wasn't as bad, but when I got in an accident, I had to really like just take a moment to take in the accident and just be like, all right, at least I'm not hurt. My airbags didn't go off. It could have been worse, stuff like that. And I walked away from it fine. I mean, it kind of sucked because accidents just suck in general. But like, I'm like everything is okay. I'm still in one piece. I'm still alive. And I got the car fixed. I still have to do a few more things to it, but I walked away with a better attitude from this accident than I did in my beginning of the year, and I was at least proud of that point. I was just like, at least I'm not like, oh, why is this happening to, well, like, why does this always happen to me? Like, I didn't hold that attitude for a second. I was upset, of course. You can't stop being upset. That's just a human attitude. But I was just like, no,
Mhm.
it's fine. I'm okay, and the car's okay. But back to like the point you're saying. Like for me, it doesn't like, and to anybody out there that needs that motivation, right? It doesn't matter if you take one large step or baby steps. Any step forward is a step forward, and like for me, it took the beginning of this year to now to I probably took like 4 or 5 baby steps, and like now I'm taking bigger steps. I feel more comfortable taking bigger steps, and it helps, and we have in our lives, fortunately, like I think Rose too, like I think it helps that we have such motivated people in our life, like Rose and I decide to motivation station just because you can even see from our conversations, the way that we kind of present ourselves as well, that we're motivated people, but not just like for each other or ourselves, but for you guys, and there's people that come our way that we make sure they leave in a better state than from when they entered our lives. Like I think I said it in my last episode, where it's like I like to be the person. It's better to be the person that smiled than the person that didn't smile back. You know, so wherever I go, I spread my smile, even if I had a bad day, even if the weather is dreary, even if it's raining outside and I forget to bring my umbrella. You kind of just like walk in, and you just make people smile, you make people laugh.
I love that. I love this
Yeah,
technique. This is technique of our station. Just go around and smile.
absolutely.
Just share that energy. I believe that that's the key word. I guess last time it was magic. It's some episode, and this episode, I guess the word believe is coming out a lot. That we have to hit the rock button like so hard. Just and either you reflect and go up, either you just become a weak. I'm not saying you are weak. We just get in a moment when we're weak. We're
Vulnerable.
weak.
Yeah,
We feel like we don't want to do anything. We lose that.
yeah.
And I've been there many times when it's just like, can I still do this? Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? The challenges, the anything, obstacles, and you just reflect. And I'm glad you did. And I'm glad you did. You reflected and said, hey, listen, this is not the way I want my life to be. But you know what? The great news and the great gift for you, that you could change it.
Mm,
You can. It's all in your hands.
yeah. No,
You
I love
are
that.
that Picasso that your life is your canvas,
Mm,
and you that Picasso that you drawing your life.
mm,
And when you picture it, and it's a from psychotherapy, when you picture something, it goes in your unconscious mind, and then unconscious mind, by looking at those pictures, making it happen for you.
yeah,
So it's one of the visuals that works in a very, we don't know really how it works, but it works in the brain somewhere there.
yeah. No, I
Nobody knows everything about brain. So,
yeah. No,
and
I
it will come as a picture, is The way you pictured it, that's the way it's going to come to your life.
Yeah.
So be mindful what you put, what pictures you put in your unconscious mind and what's
Hmm.
coming to your life. Your attitude, right? As you
Yeah.
said, attitude of gratitude. Just changing and doing those small steps, as you said. But I'm glad now, by the end of this year, we can say, oh wow. Because this year is 2024, as we know, it's a karmic year, it's number 8, and everything that's not serving you has to leave you. And I'm glad this part of the life is leaving you.
Mm, yeah.
And now you decided to restart your life, make
Yeah.
it brand new.
Yeah.
And those little moments, even that little sports car, even those little moments, even the station, I'm glad it's really, I'm back. I'm glad it's really working. It happens sometimes, right? So,
Yeah.
and definitely something to be grateful for. And I'm super happy that you're sharing the story
Hmm.
because sometimes we have so many friends, even if we don't have too many friends, we don't know everything about them. You just physically cannot reach out to every single person and say, hey,
Hmm.
how you doing? And not a lot of people want to share what they're going through.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage you that give that. I've learned that I made a list of my friends and I said, I want to learn more about my friends.
Yeah.
I want to actually reach out to my friends and be like, hey, is everything okay?
Yeah.
I want to be that person that gives you a Christmas card or Thanksgiving card or the note if somebody's sick, get well.
Hmm.
Remember the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s where we're sending letters. I have two people in my life. I do therapeutic lettering
Hmm.
when we letter each other. So the person's venting on those letters.
Mm. I
And
mean,
I'm as a coach
yeah.
and being supportive. And hey, listen, maybe life is not that bad. Maybe you need to look at it differently.
Yeah.
Change the
Absolutely.
angles.
Yeah.
Keep changing the angles of your life. Because what do you think? It becomes your reality. And I'm glad now you know that.
Yeah.
And now you're sharing that with the world.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I agree with you too, because even like things like that, like having a pen pal who might just like write everything out on paper and like vent it out, like you're taking that out of you, like having it stored in your head or in your heart is especially if it's like a negative feeling, it is poison to your body. I think on Facebook I put it as a status the other day, and it's funny because like I remember one year my wife for my birthday when I was when we were still like freshly dating. I think it was like within a year or two. She reached out to a lot of my friends on Facebook because like they all became friends with her and they got to know her and they love her. And she made a special birthday video where and she did it very cleverly somehow. But she reached out to my friends without me knowing, and I think she told them don't tell Sanjay, right? So she we went out to dinner for my birthday, and she came home and she's like, oh, let's watch a movie. And I was like, all right, cool. It's like, whatever, we could watch a movie. So she puts on this
Yeah.
movie, but it's not a movie. It was a video that she compiled of all, or not all, but a lot of my friends just like wishing me happy birthday and saying something special about me. And I was like, what the, like, this is crazy. Like, like I started tearing
Wow.
up, and
That's
I thought it was
special.
sweet. And it was funny because a lot of the people that want to say something nice about me, they're like, oh, Sanjay always puts up like a Facebook status where it was like every day I put up something motivational, something like kind, right? And a lot of people couldn't relate. They liked it, they shared it, they would comment. But like when I looked at it from like a distance, or even if I look at it now, when I put up my statuses, I do it more for me than anybody right now. And even then I did it more for, and like I think that part of it, like I stopped doing it after the pandemic. After a while I just kind of went quiet because I kept to myself. And then I started doing it again. And one of the ones I just did recently was like a Bruce Lee quote saying like don't speak negative words even to about yourself, because your body doesn't know better, because that negative energy is going to be negative energy to
Doesn't
yourself.
filter. Yeah.
So I agree with you. Like after a while, I stopped having that mentality of like even being negative to myself. Even if some kind of crappy situation comes my way, I take it as a lesson. I take it as an experience. And it's hard for everyone to do that, and understandably so. Like, fortunately for me, I think, because of my mental, that I decided to start changing after some time. Like, even when something bad happens, I try to make the best of it, and not everybody can get into that, or out of that, for that matter. But it's also nice to have people to talk to. There's friends that I know, and I tell people all the time, like, if you want to vent, please come to me, because, like, I'll listen. And sometimes you don't want to give advice, right? Or people don't want to hear advice, they just want to let it all out. And I'm like, of course.
They just
and
want to be
and
heard.
yeah, exactly. And then what I like to do is I'll tell them, I'm like, listen, do you want to just vent, or do you actually want some advice? And, like, saying little things like that makes a difference, because some people are like, I really don't want advice. I just want to let it out. And I'm like, of course. And then, like, after they're done, we'll talk about something else, something a little bit more positive. Like, oh, so you have any weekend plans? And, try to uplift their spirits, so to speak. Some people actually kind of want advice, so I try to give them my opinion. Um, but it's fortunate because, like, not only do they have someone that they can reach out to, but we also have people that we can reach out to. And I know in a heartbeat, like, if I put something, and I don't think I ever will, hopefully, but, if I put something out there that I'm sad, I know plenty of people who are just gonna, like, the second I put my status up, they're gonna call me and be like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, let's meet up, let's go out, let's talk, whatever." And, fortunately, we have each other like that, and, some people don't. But I'm hoping, maybe after people view this podcast, people see us and stuff like that, they'll reach out to us too. Like, listen, we're not just here as motivation station to, like, people who are already, making changes in their life, people who are already, like, high uplifted and they want to just lift more. We're here for those people who aren't motivated. We're here for those people who don't know what to do, or don't have any
We're here for
solution.
everybody.
We're here for everybody. And, like,
Everybody.
just because, like, if you want to be on our podcast and you don't have anything, like, oh, like, I'm not like Frank, and I make music, or like anybody like that. No, just listen. You could be here. You could be like, hey, I'm going to college for this, and that's it. Like, you just want to get that motivation. Oh no, we lost Rose. I know she mentioned something about not being in. Hold on, I'm bringing you back. Hold on. All right, you good?
Yeah,
Okay.
you kind of left for a second.
Yeah. No, I saw it happen, so I was like, all right, let me get you. But no,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, listen, we all just, even if it's just like trying to get out of bed. Listen, even for a lot of people, that's tough. People are just like, why get out of bed? Why do any of this? And we're here for that. We're here to tell you, like, listen, there's more to life than just doing nothing. But I do want to at least say, like, if you could just be that person that just wants to live a simple life. That there's nothing wrong with that too. It's whatever makes you happy. That's the goal. That's the end goal. Is we all just want to be happy. We all just have different definitions of being happy.
Happiness comes within, and I love you mentioned about quotes. And it's been a time when I was reading only quotes every single day, motivational quotes, quotes from ancients. Can you
Mm-hmm.
hear me? Yeah, because you froze on my phone, but you're still on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it really shifted my mind. Of course, I've been in leadership conferences, lots of self-development books and seminars and tapes, and back then CDs, and now it's all digital. It's just learning something to shift your mindset, and quotes were always so helpful for me. It's been a time, even just reading ancient Socrates, Lao, to right, even you talking about Bruce Lee. Yeah, those quotes are so uplifting. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear
Yeah.
you. I'm just adjusting
Oh,
the
okay.
camera stuff.
Yeah, and I totally agree. But just remember, you the Picasso,
Mm,
and your life is your canvas, and happiness comes within.
mm,
It doesn't come from the things that you get. It's just within.
mm,
And if you don't have a happiness within, which I also can relate, when you empty, when you angry,
mm,
when you're full of guilt, when you're full of that shame, when you're full of that abuse moments, when your heart is broken in pieces, I want to tell you that there's a healing light there that you can heal. It's going to take a while. It's not a one day thing. It's a
Mm,
complex of things, of putting a little bit of breathing techniques, even that smile technique that you suggested,
mm,
even that technique that I suggested, just shifting, right? How you talk to yourself, how you talk to others, should be the same. It's like a mirror technique. When you look in the mirror, everyone you talk to, you're mirroring yourself. Everyone who's talking to you, they're mirroring themselves.
yeah, yeah,
So, and when you speak to them, they're speaking out of their programs that they have that came from their childhood. So you can't really take anything personal
yeah.
because they're speaking from their point of view, the way
Exactly.
they grow up, what they see.
Yeah.
And I can't change that.
No,
But I want to tell
I agree.
you that when your heart is so broken and when you're so empty and the happiness does not come within, you think that's it. Just remember, life is a gift. It's a canvas, and you the Picasso.
Yeah,
You want to make it black quadrant like Malevich? Go ahead. Or you want to make those blue and yellow, just the way the Van Gogh scene in the Starry Night, you know? Or you want to be a modern art. It's so, nowadays, modern art is so incredibly creative. What are you creating? We all can be sitting in the couch crying and being depressed and stressed, but what are you doing about it?
yeah,
And I believe that technique of attitude of gratitude brings out that light, gives you that, okay, now I'm not that angry anymore. Now I'm grateful I am not that broken anymore. And when you fill yourself with a high vibration like gratitude, it will start healing you towards being happy within. It took
yeah,
me a long time to become a person happy within, and I'm still working on it,
yeah.
but it's
No,
gradually growing, and I love that.
I agree. No, I mean, I think for the longest time, I kind of just built off like the happiness I give out is what's gonna build the happy within, you know. And it took a lot of years. Like I'm 37 now or something like yeah, 37. But like the majority of my life, I always just gave. I just gave and gave and gave, and I don't know how I had the energy to just constantly give, but I relied on
Hmm.
giving, giving,
Yeah.
giving until like I received from giving, you know. But like after a while, and I think my mentality changed, I hit a point where it's just like I have to give to myself first, and then that will give out to others, you know. And I agree with you. Not everybody's on the same page. Not everybody has like the same mentality, but I think there should still be that like level of mutual respect for that. So, like I have a friend that I recently met, and we became good friends. Like we were talking, like on the daily and stuff like that. And a lot of it was like we both grew up differently, but like it's not that one was right or wrong, it was different. And there's some points of views that she didn't agree with me, and I didn't like necessarily agree with her, but there's still
Hmm.
like a level of mutual respect. Just like, listen, I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but if that's the way you grew up and that's the way you did things, that's fine. That, and then that made you who you are today. Just like me, the way I grew up and what things I did or didn't do made me who I am today. But there's no right or wrong answer to that. That's just you're you and I'm me. And I think having that mutual respect is important. And I think it's important because um, it helps both parties, right? So like I don't like disrespecting other people. I don't like to say I disagree with you per se. Like I'll disagree maybe with a point of view, but it's because I didn't experience it the way you experienced it. And it's not about like whose experience is right or whose experience is wrong. It's just how did that experience affect us,
Hmm.
because I still think the person is a beautiful person that they are today. Just like, they say the same thing to me that like after all the stuff I've been through, good and bad, and that's why, let's be thankful, right? So, that's why I'm thankful for all the lows, the highs, the middles, like everything, because it it molded me into who I am today, and I know going forward from here, it's just gonna further mold me even more, you know. And I'm hoping that some of this can spread out to others. Some of this positivity or even negativity can spread out to others. Because like it took me being vulnerable to grow. It's not just about like, oh, I want to take a step in the right direction. Sometimes we just need something to happen in our lives that just like, this is it. you know like I felt like, there were times in my life that I felt like I hit moments, that I thought to
Mhm.
myself, it's now or never. But I was trying to convince myself that this is now or never, so that I would be like, okay, then this is definitely now. But I'm not gonna lie, up until this year, up until everything that happened this year, is what actually finally hit me. And like, now I hear an inner voice in me saying, no,
Mhm.
now it's now or never. you know and that moment hit, like, after I crashed my car. I was talking to my wife, with work, with money, with like everything. And it hit me, and I was like, it's literally now or never. And then small things started happening, small things started picking up, because I decided to change my attitude. I got out of the accident alive. I got a car that I love. um my daughter and my wife are growing up healthy. Got a better job. Me and you started this podcast. I did try doing other stuff. Like, I think I mentioned earlier today, earlier, that I was trying things I want to get back into, which, like, I like doing driving videos, which I'm going back and forth on. I like to stream for gaming, which I'm going back and forth on. But like, it took me experiencing it to be like, you know what, is this what I really want to do or not? But Wayne Gretzky said it best: you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, I took these shots, and I'm like, you know what, maybe this is not for me. But this isn't the end of my story. It's just, okay, maybe this is not it. We'll move on to the next thing, move on to the next thing, until I find, like you said, like, I find my niche, and then go from there.
I agree with you. Being vulnerable is the best thing for anyone because people take it for granted being vulnerable. Actually, being vulnerable is one of the things that people live through their emotions. The emotions are coming, you need to live it through. Stop jamming it inside of you.
I think
Live it through, release, let it go.
I think the biggest
You
thing
know?
is people are just, they may be more afraid to be vulnerable. But like, I think what they don't realize is being vulnerable isn't a weakness. You know,
No.
it's a state that you might be in temporarily that helps you get to something better, but it's not a weakness. Even like small things like being kind, or being like, giving. It's not a weakness. There might be times where it'll burn you, right? There's times where it'll burn you, but it's not a weakness. And I think a lot of people feel that way, because they're like, no, I have to be a certain way, because if I show weakness, then, people, like, it could be out of like respect or anything like that. They're like, oh, people won't feel this way. And I did feel like that to a point, but like, I don't think anymore.
Hmm.
I think it's all a matter of helping you grow. It's like having, like, you're a tree. You grow branches, you grow leaves and stuff like that. And like, even during the fall, the leaves fall off. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean the tree couldn't hold its leaves. It just means that something else is going to grow better, or stronger next year. Some of the branches might not be as strong, and they might break off, but more branches will build out. You know, so it's a matter of, perspective as well. But I think a lot of it, like we've been saying throughout the entire podcast, comes from within.
I agree, and I totally see that we all molding ourselves, and that is amazing. And everything is shaping us. The circumstances, the obstacles, the people we meet. Don't forget, every
Yeah.
person we meet, it's our reflection. It's our mirror. If you're broken, you're meeting people that's broken. You know what I mean? So then discover for yourself who you want to be and what kind of people you want to surround yourself.
Yeah. No, I
Don't
agree.
think that whoever is around you right now gonna be there forever. No,
Mm.
because you're going to grow. You're gonna go to a different social skill level, in a different level when you're growing. You're changing circle, and that's normal. I don't want you to feel guilty of not letting yourself. Oh no, I'm gonna leave my friends. How am I gonna leave my drinking buddies, right? You're now a different person. You want to go professional. You want to have a high vibrational quality lifestyle. You have to
Yeah.
take yourself out of that circle because you are who you hang with. Five
Mm.
people. Your income, it's look who you people around you. Your income is different. Sit around the winners, right? One of my favorite quotes, sit around the winners and the conversation will be different, right? And I like that you have a choice. You have a choice. It is comes within, but you have a choice how you're gonna create your canvas. And I
Yeah.
love that there's a lot of people that know, and I'm glad there's people out there that have their niche, they know what they like, they're passionate about it, they've been doing it for the whole life. And I want to speak a little bit about not the person, the business that is sponsoring our giveaways today a little bit, right?
Oh,
It's
right.
Iron
Yeah.
Cycles.
Which reminds me,
Iron, it's
the link
beautiful thing.
the link below. Don't forget to sign up. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off. I just want to remind people
go
that there's a
put
link.
that click in, and we're gonna put you in that giveaway. Giveaway meat, everything 100% is recyclable and the handmade, and besides the necklace parts and stuff and crystals. But there's people right there that do love what they do, and I'm super happy that there's people out there like that. And Iron Cycles, it's a new business just opened in, if you in Georgia, state of Georgia, it's in town Blairsville. It's a gorgeous town by the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's definitely gorgeous. I would definitely recommend you with your family visit. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the person is can fix anything. Like it's a fixing god or something, like anything. Boats, any kind of motorcycles, retro cars, any car.
A jack of all
It's just
trades.
like
Yeah. Nice.
the people, it's not too many people like that anymore. He can build anything, houses. Anything that's buildable, he can build. This person just opened a beautiful shop. If you need your oil change, brake change, anything fixed, if you have a moped, you know, anything that is fixable and you need to put your floors down and build a house, this person can do. Come check it out, Iron Cycles. You can fly in with your retro car from 1960s and, bring it to his shop and he's gonna make a beautiful brand new. It's just amazing what he does, and I'm glad we are doing giveaway with Iron Cycles from Blairsville, Georgia.
Awesome. Yeah. No. I look forward to the the participation of the giveaway. And if you do participate in the giveaway and you put in your email and you win, um, and like we talk, I would love for you maybe the person who's in the giveaway, maybe they can write a short message or send a picture or something so then we can see, and I can just put it up on the screen for a little
We
bit,
can
but hey, look,
share.
exactly, yeah, share the giveaway, share what you got, and yeah, I think it would be fantastic, and I look forward to it too because I know it's a very personal giveaway. It's stuff that Rose is very very passionate about, and I appreciate the idea of the giveaway, and we're like, you know what, it's December, it's all about giving right now, so I look forward to it. And I know we talked about it too. I don't think we talked about it on stream, but we're gonna do our own gifting to each other. So hopefully I can go, you know, get my stuff done.
And we
But
have
I,
a surprise for that.
y- y-
We might be together
oh yes, yes, Rose
on
is
the
coming back
beautiful
to
day.
Jersey
So
for a brief time period.
we
So
might,
we gotta,
so we
yeah, we
might
gotta see if we can maybe
make
set that
that
up. But if not,
Christmas
right, we're
together.
still gonna we're gonna do our gifting, our opening, the podcast before Christmas, right? And I look forward to that too.
That would be so amazing. I'm super excited that we had a moment to ourselves today. I think Thanksgiving and just the holidays itself, I think we should feel the attitude of gratitude every day, not only on holidays, right? Being kind, being nice is absolutely free.
Mm, I agree.
And don't, I know a lot of us had a very traumatic childhood, and we bring out that anger and sorrow and all that pain. Dude, wake up. It's time to heal yourself.
Yeah, I think with that,
It's
I
time
agree.
to be your own Picasso, as I already said many times today.
Yeah, no,
You have your canvas.
I think
Stop putting the black colors in there. Put some red, put some yellow, put some rainbow. Make it colorful.
yeah, no, I mean,
Where are you?
I
Wake
won't,
up.
I don't know, I won't say take away black, right? I'll just say incorporate other colors with it, right? But
Yeah, put a white, make it gray.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, gray is great color. But one thing, one story I wanted to share real quick, not to take up too much more time. But I agree that, like,
Of course.
there's some stuff that happens in everybody's life. So, um, my family was very disconnected in our earlier years, right? One thing that I thought was crazy to do, and like I was like, listen, if it makes a difference to one person, that's more than enough for me, right? But my family is very disconnected with each other. There's a lot of internal conflict, and I remember I was gonna have my daughter. Like my wife was pregnant. We did a baby shower, and at the baby shower, um, I think some people or most people know by now, but if not, my wife is not Indian. My wife is Korean, so we both have different backgrounds. And I at my baby shower we had a mix of my family Indians and her family Koreans, and like most of them speak English. Some of them don't, and vice versa. Like a lot of my Indian family speak English, but maybe it's not their best language, right? So
Yeah.
during my baby shower, I gave a three language speech that I got some help from like some Korean family, and I got some help from some Indian family because although I'm Indian, I'm not really great at speaking my own language, but I came up with a speech to speak in three different languages to talk about like no more of this family conflict. I was like, my daughter's gonna enter this world, and I'm like, I don't want her to see all this. I was
Wow.
like, we got to fix this. We can't do this, right? So the Indian speech was a lot hardcore, a lot more hardcore, because it was more me talking to my family. To the Korean family, I was like, welcome to our family. We're not the best family, but we do what we can. But to my Indian family, I was like, this stops now. I was like, I was like, I don't want my daughter to, you know, like I want our holidays to be full of family. Like when people ask me
Children.
what one of my favorite pastimes was, I was like, when I was a kid, everybody used to come to somebody's house for dinner, and we would have like eight people in the kitchen, getting in each other's ways, cooking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the stuff
Yeah.
I remember. And then after a certain time, it just stopped. And I was like, no, when my daughter is born, we're not doing that again. We're gonna start all over again. We're bringing everybody back. And I remember when I
Bring
gave
back
my
the tradition.
when I gave my speech, like people were crying. And one of my cousins came up to me and he's just like, I think we all needed to hear that, you know. And there was some avenues, some doors that opened, and even for like my own parents, it rekindled some relationships that were very severe and very broken. And recently, like last week, my uncle passed away, and
Oh,
it was a tough period for me because like I was close with him. Like he was a very kind and loving uncle to me because he always took care of me like I was his own son. But he was very like his relationship with my mother, they're a brother and sister. But for the longest time they had conflict, and it was over grudges that just don't make sense anymore. Like if people who sometimes get into a fight so long ago that when you talk about, so what are you mad at, and they're just like,
you
we
don't
don't
even
we,
know.
we don't even know anymore. And I was like, we can't be like this. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
of course we all get frustrated, of course we get angry, of course we get upset, but like don't hold it. It's like that saying, like you have this hot coal in your hand with the intention to throw it, but then you never throw it, and all you do is burn your own hand. So, my advice to people out there, and because it happened, like I feel like my mother didn't fully rekindle with her brother, but she still, after he passed, we do our Indian traditions, and we hope he made it to, happily and painlessly to the afterlife, and we hope he's doing well up there. But don't let like something like that hold you back. Fix these. Just because you might have had some sort of
Yeah.
conflict, some sort of bad experience, like don't take that bad experience like, you know what, let's just end this. Because I know a lot of people who are like, hey, my family's not my family, but my friends are more my family. And I get it, there's some conflict you can't fix. Like you can't, because there might be two completely like different views and whatnot, but then you have to at least give it a shot. You have to like at least try, because you won't know what's going to happen if you don't. And that's the point of my speech. And when I gave my speech, I was like, look, we have these conflicts. I don't know what happened. I probably can't fix it, but we should at least try. And it's like me trying the stuff I want to do. Like I wanted to do streaming, I wanted to do my car videos. I had to at least try to figure out like, hey, this ain't gonna work. And not everybody's resolve is peaceful. Not everybody's resolve is a happy ending, right? But at least there's a resolve. At least there's a point you're like, all right, I could put a period at the end of this sentence.
Yes.
And sometimes you
Yes.
just need to do that. And I just want to share the story with my uncle, because I think if I hadn't given the speech in the past, and my mom didn't fully reconnect with them at all, there was a point in our lives, in our family, that we only saw each other when somebody passed away. And I'm like, we need to not do this. Like, we can't just show up at somebody's funeral, Like, I mean, of course, mutually respectful, but like, you could have shown up in life. You could have shown up when they were still good and healthy, you know? I was like, let's try to break that barrier of just showing up when someone is either like
Yeah.
terminally sick or terminally ill, or somebody passes away, you know? So I think after that speech, it did open up a lot more avenues. Like we do visit family a lot more. Like my daughter is growing up knowing that everybody loves her and she loves everybody. Everyone's an uncle or auntie to them, even my friends and stuff like that. But I had to make it like clear, like look, we could do this. And before I gave that speech, people just thought it was impossible. But now it's just like that opened up doors, that opened up avenues.
You broke the
Everybody's
ice.
yeah. So
I
that
think it was very valuable, and it
it
looks like
was.
it's very valuable. And I hope people that's going to watch this episode will recognize that maybe
Like
they need to do the same thing.
listen, you
Maybe
have
it's time for
control.
you to break the ice.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't speak to someone for 10 years, but why?
Yeah, you like,
What's
and
what?
it's funny because like when my mom met her brother, we had dinner. They literally forgot what the heck they were upset about. Like after like the baby shower, they're just like, "What were we so mad about?" And I was like, "See, like when you think about this, it's trivial now." And that we had dinner and stuff like that. And like I said, although she didn't fully reconnect as much as I'm sure she wanted to, she at least found peace
Yes.
within herself, because they didn't end on a bad note. They didn't leave with bad blood in that sense there. And like my cousins, like their side of the family, my uncle had my uncle had five daughters and one son. And now my mom does talk to them a little bit more. My mom like catches up with them. She'll find out it's their birthday, give them gifts, come over for dinner once in a while. When my uncle passed away, like she showed up almost immediately, and she's just like, I'm so sorry for your loss. And we're all just like, listen, you need anything, we're here. Like if you need money to fly out to India, if you need someone to watch the house, someone to do this, that, like we're here. But I feel like if um if things didn't happen, I would be the only one saying that to them. Like, I'm so sorry for your loss, but I'm here for you. But now at least I'm proud that I can say we're here for you. You know. So I encourage you, the viewers of Motivation Station, or even if you're stopping by for a little bit just to see a little, just be motivated to not, you know, think like Rose had said, like this is, we're in control of what we do, which is beautiful. And definitely try to let go of that negativity, let go of that stuff that might be bringing you down. I'm not like, I'm not saying resolve everything that's going on in your life, but bring peace within yourself. And even if it's a positive or negative ending
Yes.
to the story, at least there's an ending to that story. And then you pick up, and then you go try again, and then you try something different, or you meet new people, or like you said, you meet new audience, new company, new people, new circle, right? Like
Always, every time you grow, it's going to be a different circle, and you should adjust yourself wisely because This is where you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Why you questioning? Why you not letting it be?
Yeah.
Why you building the wall? That's talking about other, like, the one of the things that people do, people create an image about other person and they look through that image.
Yeah.
They don't even see the person itself.
Yeah.
They're building that image according to their own knowledge, skills, what they've learned, what the programs they've seen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people ask me like, "Oh, where are you from?" I say, "I'm from Russia." And like, "Are you Russian?" I said, "No, I'm not."
Mm-hmm.
Don't create that image.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's always cold there. No, it's not. It's 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's bears running in the streets. I said, no, there's cars driving.
Yeah.
You know, I was born in a city with a million population. I'm a city girl. You know,
Yeah.
like what do you like now? My city doubled since I last seen my city. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, don't create an image for the person. I love quotes, as I said earlier, and one of the quotes from Sadhguru. I'm sure you know him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a famous preacher,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a lot of people love him, and I love him as well. And he said, if you like or dislike something, you don't see it the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So stop grading it. As you said earlier, nothing bad, nothing good.
Mm. No, I agree with you. I like having
Let's
a
see it the way it is and stop building that wall. Break that ice.
yeah. No, no,
Go enjoy the dinner with your brother and sister. Be a family.
I
Create
agree.
the traditions,
Like
culture. Ho, ho, ho.
even
You're missing out.
even like meeting like people and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like I let them come in as their own blank canvas, and then as they speak, I can see them fill the colors of their own canvas. And I'm like, okay, this is the person you are. No, I agree. Like break the stereotypes, break the negative
Yeah,
things that
those
exist.
images, like,
Yeah.
because people, like, a lot of people create that image according to nationality, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
According to language. Oh, that person is that person, and that's what they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They already have a profile like in the FBI. You know what? What are you doing? You don't
I
know a
agree.
person's background. You don't know how they grow up. That person might be 10 times smarter than you are, and here you are,
Yeah.
like, like, it's
I
just
agree.
let
No,
that go.
I think there has to be more
All
open
you have
mind.
is love, open, happiness within, and
Yeah.
let the other person paint their own canvas, as you said.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree that there has to be like an open mindedness to people, in general. And some people, honestly, some people just may not get it, which is fine. If they have this like sort of like stereotypes, so sort of like, hey, like I think one of my friends was like like they saw me as Indian, so they have like this very idea of how Indians are and Indians will be. And look, I have a couple choices. I could just be like, no, you're wrong. I could talk back, or I could just be like, listen, do your thing. That's fine. But then you're like, all right, this isn't part of my circle. So if you want to be like that, that's cool. Do your thing. And I think that's one of my attitudes that I appreciate is instead of being petty or like going back to them and be like, you know what, you're like this, you're like this. You can't fight fire with fire, right? So if they want to have this sort of like personas, this sort of attitude, that's cool. That's completely cool. Do your thing. And I'm just like I don't need to be around this and walk away. You know, and
You have
like
a choice, yeah.
I think one of my biggest things was like I was hitting a point where I wanted to try to make everyone happy. You can't make
Mm-hmm.
everyone happy, but the best thing you can do is just make yourself happy. Aim for yourself, and you'll make people along the way happy, and some people you won't, but you just got to do you. You know. But anyway, uh,
Definitely. Yes, thank you so much for this pep talk and this gratitudeness and sharing this
listen,
story.
I
I
appreciate
feel
this
like this
having.
is what we needed it. We needed it
I
to
think there's gonna be
to
times that
open
we need
the
episodes like this, like just episodes of just us, just
yes,
like, hey,
open the
this is where we're at, this is
door.
where we're talking. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
open the door and sharing the learning experience right now. And as we grow, share more experiences.
yes, over time. Yep.
I feel like this is something valuable. This
Hmm.
is the treasure that we have and we give. And I'm super excited for people to actually soak up this knowledge because you need it. We're already living in it. We're already having it,
Yeah. No, I agree.
but you need it. You need it. This is something. This is not cultish.
Mm,
This is just factuals that come on now. There's darkness, there's light, and you choose. And we're here to tell you that you can make that choice.
mm,
And it's okay if you choose black. And maybe you need to be in the darkness for a minute.
yeah.
Maybe that's what you need to. You need that conversation, you and you conversation at the rock bottom
Yeah.
to go up again.
No.
You need that. We all need that. And we all been there. And we just encourage you to be mindful that wherever you are right now, that's not where you're going to be
Mm,
in 5 years.
I agree.
So now plant the right seeds for yourself
Yep. I agree.
and create your own piece, your own masterpiece that you always wanted it to create.
No.
It's no better time than now.
No.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but second best time is now.
Yep.
So
Yep.
plant your tree
Absolutely.
today
No.
and we go from there.
I agree with you with that too, because I do feel like and we won't get too into it in this episode. We'll do another me and you episode in the future. But I do agree with I needed to touch a bit of darkness to understand the light a lot more. You know, and I will definitely share more stories of my younger self of that helped me mold to the person I am today. But today I think we both needed this. I think we both needed this episode, and we both needed time with like each other to learn more about one another. And we appreciate the audience, the people that came by, the people who are watching us, and watch us every week, which even better, and you share it out there. And like I said, we're here for not just ourselves, but we're here for you, and we'd love to hear more from you guys. So just to reiterate, at the bottom again, there's a form for the giveaway. Please, feel free to join it. Put in your information. Like I said, Rose and I will do a Friday. We'll probably do like a spin the wheel or something to see who gets a giveaway, and we'll announce it next
We
Saturday.
will announce it next
Yep.
week,
And
yeah.
then we'll send it out, and then we'll do another giveaway for the coming week after that. Next week will be a little bit different for me at least, because I will be on a weekend getaway, but I will still participate in the
Thank you.
podcast. Yes, of course. So I'll be in a different position, but next week will be. I think it'll be fun because we'll have our guests as well. And yeah, I mean,
Gonna
for
be
today,
amazing person.
we appreciate you coming by. We love you and we thank you, and we hopefully you look forward to our future shows. Rose, any parting words of motivation?
Thank you so much for being here today. We're definitely wishing you a motivated day. We're having a special guest next week. I think it's a holiday season still, and we all love to have a little mocktails and cocktails,
Mm,
and then maybe a little bit of graphic design invitations that you like to create, and do a little bit of more singing and banding that we had a couple of episodes back. Let's that festiveness, and the person that creates that will be our guest next week. And I think it's amazing that every person is so different
mm.
and every person brings out that light uniqueness that it is so
I,
tangible
I
and it's
know.
valuable.
Like I told you, like from our beginning of our podcast, until now with all the guests we have, like I definitely feel a lot more motivated as than if I didn't make a podcast at all. Like and like you said, like meeting these people, everyone is different, right? Everyone has their own drive. Everybody has their own reasons for the things they do. Um, uh, and I think it's beautiful that they're able to share it, especially on our platform. I think it's a blessing to have these guys. and gals on our podcast to be able to put themselves out there. And I know, like, we still keep in touch with all of them, and they always hit us up like, "Oh, thank you again for being on the podcast or letting us on your podcast." And we're like, "No, thank you, because like we needed it more than anything. Like we feel like amazingly motivated, and it's just gonna continue. It's just gonna keep going, and I hope we have more and more guests. And like all these guests so far have been like somebody Rose has recommended and bought in. And after the new year, I won't get into it until we get closer to the date. But after the new year, I actually have a guest I want to bring on. But I'll speak more of him on a later podcast. But like I just look forward to it because I want them to be able to share their story, because it's gonna help. I know it's gonna help me. I know it's gonna help you, and it's gonna help viewers, and it's gonna help people who watch this later, watch this next year, watch this, next
In
month,
10
whatever.
years, 5 years, it's
It's
watch
just
it
it's here to
whenever.
stay. It's here to stay. But listen,
Here to say
it's a beautiful
the
Saturday.
legacy.
It's a little bit cold, right? But it's a beautiful Saturday. I hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving and you had your fill. And today's nothing but just leftovers, leftover turkey, leftover mashed potatoes, whatever you're eating. I had enchiladas because we don't eat meat here, but we had enchiladas. It was delicious, and I still have some left over. So that's gonna be my lunch. But
That is
honestly,
amazing.
honestly, thank you all. Thank you all for being part of this podcast. Thank you for listening to our stories, my story, Rose's story, everybody's stories. Like I appreciate you all coming by. I hope you guys join in on the giveaway. But Rose, cheers to. Oh, good.
Cheers.
Oh,
Thank you
good.
so much.
Oh,
Thank you
good.
for letting me share my Christmas,
Of
a beautiful
course.
Christmas set
Yes. Thank you. Thank
that
you. And
I
we look.
am the China girl.
We we look forward to the giveaway announcement next week, and we also look forward to you guys joining us with our guests. So, other than that, have a motivated Saturday
Thank you
and take
guys.
care. All right,
Have
love
a
you.
motivated day. Thank you, Sanjay, and thank you, Iron
Of
Cycles,
course, thank
for
you, Rose. Good night, guys.
of course.
Take care.
Bye bye.